Season 5 is here! Welcome to the Ascend Tournament Series. I'm Spotty FC. Joining me here for our opening match is AlyssaBee. Welcome in, Alyssa! Season 5 has begun. Over 70 teams have signed up this season, all for a chance to win the grand prize that so many of these teams saw others reach in Season 4. Alyssa, it's a new season, there's new action, there's new entertainment, and now we get to see it all over again. How are you feeling?
Good about this match. I'm definitely interested in seeing how both of the rosters go, considering the difference in rankings.
Hey, you mentioned that as well. Our matchup here to start the season from the Catalyst Cup is the Pink Pounders taking on Serenyx Esports Prospects. Both these teams, remnants from teams that played last season. The Pink Pounders with Funny Side and Crowd, who are both teammates on Geriatric Life's Yellow, a team that made top 8 last season, lost quite surprisingly in the quarterfinals, trying to redeem themselves from what was a season that maybe they felt they should have won. On the other side, it is Serenyx Esports Prospects, one of the two Serenyx Esports teams competing this season. This team, obviously, you'd think on first look would bear resemblance to the old Serenyx Esports team that competed in the Catalyst Cup last season, but it's not actually. There's only one returning player from that roster on this one. That's their sub in Who's Your Mama. So a whole new Serenyx Esports team, the Catalyst Division, taking on the Pink Pounders here in this first matchup. And you mentioned the rank difference. It is a pretty important matchup as well. But you mentioned the rank difference that these teams have. Pink Pounders, one of the high seeds, Serenyx Esports Prospects coming in as a low seed. But, I mean, you know this just as well as anybody else does here, Alyssa. That rank difference, it may matter, especially early on in the season, but what's going to matter more is how you rebound and really by the end of the season, how your team kind of meshes together.
Definitely. What matters is just for them to get to playoffs, and then from there is how they play in playoffs. I mean, you may have a number 1 seed team lose to the lower seed team even, but it's how they regain in the future.
Exactly here. You mentioned the excitement as well, but again, so this is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this matchup. Again, part of the Catalyst Cup, our 1450 to 1600 MMR division. You mentioned that rank difference here. The Pink Pounders, though, you have to think for the Pink Pounders, this is a kind of a stinging moment for them. That they couldn't get it done in the playoffs last season. They went into the quarterfinal and just could not play. It was the worst they looked all season for a team that went undefeated. I think they were the only team that went undefeated during the first part, before they went to the final bracket. You know that this team out of Pink Pounders, they really want to take that championship. They want to prove that they can do it in playoffs. And in the second edition of the Catalyst Cup, I mean, it's a little smaller. The competition's still quite fierce, but the Pink Pounders, again, a high-seeded team looking to see if they can, do what they couldn't do last season. It all starts here in week 1, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's about the hunger of trying to regain that after that previous season, you know?
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
definitely going to
I
want
know
to
it's
prove
like
themselves.
absolutely they will here as we'll get things underway shortly here. Again, Serenyx Esports Prospects, a relatively new team. Serenyx Esports last season, their old team made top 12. Not a bad performance for them, but for a team and an org that is expecting brilliance from their rosters, that really was not a good enough result for them. It was a unfortunate end to the season, just a team that just had a lot of roster issues mid-season as well last season. This season, obviously hoping for a better showing with a completely different team as well. Again, we'll see how things look here.
Yeah, definitely. With it being a fresh roster, it'll be interesting to see how they play together, too.
Definitely is. I'm excited for this matchup. It's a best of 5 as well, and considering this is the first of 5 weeks for at least the Catalyst Cup on its own, it's a pretty short regular season. These teams, teams like these players that have been here last season were used to a 7-week season. The fact that it's now shorter definitely means that not only is it meaning that you gotta have to play better in in less matches. You gotta really be clutch when it comes down to it, but you also have to start off a lot better. So these first couple weeks, they matter a lot more than they did last season. Last season you could start off badly and be just fine. That was definitely that was somewhat of the case for a lot of teams in the Catalyst Cup. But this season, if you don't start off well, that could be it for your season.
Yeah, that is definitely a crucial aspect of things.
Again, coming into this best of 5, Alyssa, you can beat a good amount. You know what it's like as well. Um, Again, tell me, just like knowing that these teams are getting a good start, knowing that you've been in the position before where you're in leagues that run a very long regular seasons. Talk to me about how important it is to get a good start and to really get a good start, especially in a regular season that is this short.
Yeah, I mean, with it being this short, they're just gonna have to try and do their best to get ahead of the competition with what they can. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, especially when it is a lower amount of games in a season. Like you said, it's 5 weeks instead of 7 that they're used to. But definitely, if they're a good team and they have the chemistry and everything in practice, they should be able to pull through.
We'll see about that one here. It's again Pink Pounders, Serenyx Esports prospects. As we wait for the players to join this lobby here, I have to see just how these players want to play this.
Yeah.
We'll get things underway, hopefully shortly here, while we get things sorted out. But again, a best of 5 in week 1. That means again for both these teams at 0-0 records, but by the end of the season, in this group of 6, that they're both so happens to be in the top 4, make it to playoffs. So, you know, you're likely to make playoffs, but obviously 2 teams have to be out. That's a third of the teams in this division, and I think if you're Serenyx, you want to get off to at least a half-decent start. You know how good some of these teams are, and Serenyx especially have a pretty tough start to their season. They not only have to play Pink Pounders, after this they have to play Post Pounders, Periwinkle, another high-seeded team. This is not an easy start to the season for Serenyx. Those first 2 weeks, very difficult, very good rosters, and again, if you can get a good start there, the rest of the season is easier on paper. They could really set themselves up for success.
Yeah. Definitely a good start is going to help their momentum along the way and their confidence too. Definitely getting a good start in the season will definitely be a giant confidence booster.
Yeah, and these players now in the lobby as well, so we can confirm exactly who is playing for each team. On the Pink Pounders, it is the old teammates back from Serenyx Goliaths Yellow and Funny Side and Crowd, as well as a new player in Serenyx Esports, with their roster of Spooky, Churro, and their captain in X-Troll. So it's a big match here. The Pink Pounders take to the blue. Serenyx Esports prospects on the orange. So welcome to Season 5 of the Ascend Tournament Series. This is Catalyst Cup Week 1. Both these teams get their season started here. And another thing to talk about as well, this Serenyx Esports prospect team, they're mostly comprised of US West-based players. So not only is this going to be tough for them in that they're the lower-seeded team, the lower ranked team generally, they also have to contend with having a much worse ping. So for Pink Pounders, a lot of advantages here. It just means that for Serenyx Esports prospects, I know coming into this match, we're unhappy that they could not play on better servers here. You know for a fact they're upset. They really want to prove it even more now that they can take this team down even with the disadvantages.
Yeah, I mean, it's about just adjusting to the ping if they are able to. I mean, I've had players from EU that have played on my teams that I've ran before, and they've done absolutely amazing and dominated the lobby. So it's just about that adjustment.
It is all about getting used to the play here as Crowd's gonna get things started to the back wall. X-Troll won't receive this! And it's Funny Side. Goal 1 goes to the Pink Pounders. The first goal of Season 5.
What a way to be there for Funny Side. That was an absolutely amazing read.
And it's only the start for this best of 5 here as Pink Pounders will get that first goal. Now look for even more, but Serenyx on the other side. It's Spooky in front. Churro doesn't get a great touch on this one. X-Troll's gonna be beat here. That's a wide open backfield as Crowd doesn't get the second touch. Idolite will shoot, save away, but everybody commits here from Serenyx Esports prospects, and already you're seeing just why this Pink Pounders team, even though not everybody here was on the Serenyx Goliaths Yellow team, while they have shades of that old Serenyx Goliaths team. Heavy pressure, heavy offense, a lot of shots. It's so tough to contain this team because their offense is just so explosive. They can find ways to shoot, to score at just a whim's notice. As Idolite shows right there, the Pink Pounders double their lead, and early on in this game, looks exactly like the Serenyx Goliaths. Lots of shots, lots of pressure, and it's very tough to contain them when they keep doing this.
Yeah, definitely the pressure is key, and it looks like maybe the other team may be having some ping issues as well, but yeah.
Well, unfortunately for Serenyx Esports prospects, that no goals yet here. Pink Pounders will keep them at bay. Challenges in front here so far in Serenyx. Another double commit here. Spooky and Extra jumping at the same place in here. Seeing just how fast this Pink Pounders team wants to play the ball. Serenyx really does look panicked here. Very rushed. Lots of double commits. The communication is falling apart for this roster. And, I mean, simply put, against a team like Pink Pounders, you give them an opening, they're going to take it against you. Those double commits are not doing them any favors.
Exactly. I mean, the aggression, they're just not able to stop it at this point. They need to, when we reset the lobby, they will have to take that minute and just try and chill out and discuss what went wrong, you know?
I think for that amount of time that they have, it's going to be... we'll see how things look here as... Gonna go off the back wall. We'll be in front for a crowd. Shot! Oh, it's in front! It's another one! Pink Pounders with 4 in the first half of game number 1. And boy, this is a dominant start for the Pink Pounders. They have looked amazing so far. 4 goals straight. Serenyx Esports prospects. Man, they look like they're like a fish out of water right now. They're flopping on the goal line, and again, those double commits, those plays where you see multiple players jumping in, it's not helping them here. There's a lot of openings here, and Pink Pounders, as expected, just scoring any chance they get it. Idolite has 2 already this game. Pink Pounders, this is dominant. This is controlled, and my goodness, this is insanity right now. Pink Pounders are giving Serenyx Esports prospects no hope.
Like you said, Idolite has 2 goals now, so does Funnyside and Crowd with 1. So every player on the team has scored.
And I expect that we're going to see more goals as this game continues. As Spooky, who got bumped out there by Churro. Idolite has a play in front, will beat out Churro to the back wall, but Pink Pounders, we still want to wait here, but on low boost, this is a great chance for Serenyx if they can just find it, and maybe this is it for them here. But oh, that's a great play from Spooky. Runs right into the player on Pink Pounders, gives his team so much time to work with, and although they won't get out, although they won't get out of defense, they absolutely prevented a goal there, and that's a huge play. And while Serenyx, they're down by 5, I don't know if they're going to come back from this. Plays like those still can give you a glimmer of hope if you're a Serenyx Esports fan, knowing that this team, they are making good decisions when they need to.
I mean, it's just about the decision making and trying to shut down that aggression right now, which Serenyx has unfortunate circumstances what they're paying with their players. So hopefully we will see an adjustment after this game.
I think even without the ping difference, Serenyx is clearly proving that they seem to have a issue with those double commits, with that communication. And, I mean, ping or no ping, communication, that needs to be on point if you're going to play against this Pink Pounders team. If you double commit, if you put yourself out of position, this team in Pink Pounders, they're very fast, they're very mechanical. If you give them openings, if you double commit, they're likely going to put a shot on you, and as we've seen so far, they don't miss often, do they, here? As Churro will get a shot on. Serenyx have not had that many chances on net. That one will be a rarity for them, but inside the final minute, no goals for Serenyx Esports prospects, and at this point, I think the goal for them is not to win this game. Clearly, that's not going to happen. It's can they get on the board?
Churro manages to get a block there, and Churro's taking it back into the Pink Pounder side.
And as this ball, will get cleared away again, Pink Pounders, a lot of issues scoring at the end of this game. Serenyx Esports prospect proved that even with such a rough start for them, they do actually have the capacity to really defend against this team. And my biggest worry for them, as we're going to go into a lobby change here called by both teams, is how are they going to fix the double commits? Those double commits were an issue all game, and I can tell you, ping could be a reason why that's happening, but I can promise you, it's more likely a communication issue from Serenyx Esports, and I do wonder, because those double commits, they had a lot of them that game, and if you're the Pink Pounders, if you want the easy way to beat this team, well, that's what you got to look at to beat them on. And Serenyx, they got to make sure that going into this next game, not only do those double commits become a non-issue, that they completely get rid of them, because I think any double commit, if they go down early, I think we might see this repeat itself.
Pink Pounders had 53% of field domination and 51% of the ball possession that game. So
They
they
just
weren't dominating that much. It was just a little bit, honestly. Just Serenyx needs to get on the board.
all right. Well, the lobby is back up now. As we'll get things back up and running here for game number 2 of this best of 5 matchup. And again, for Serenyx, the one thing I want to see is, are they going to double commit again? Are they going to continue to get overwhelmed by the Pink Pounders? Even though the ping might be better for them, I still don't like those double crits that I saw in game 1. That was rough for them, it was tough for them, and it's not exactly to be something that will help them out here against the Pink Pounders. Their defense needs to be solid. Pink Pounders, they're known for their offense. The way that they lost in the quarterfinals last season to, I believe it was Legit Dusk, was through the defense of Legit. If Serenyx Esports prospects don't double commit as much, their defense showed up in the last half of that game. It looked good. They can give themselves a chance to win these games.
Yeah, it's just about, like you said, the communication. They need to figure out how to not double commit as much and be there when they need to be.
That will end week 1 here as we'll go into... Sorry, no, that'll end game 1 here as we go into game 2. The Pink Pounders on a 5-0 scoreline. I mean, that was absolutely a dominant showing for them, but they still look for more here as Idolite up for Funny Side, and Pink Pounders will go in front. Crowd on the board already. So even with the lobby change, 10 seconds in, Pink Pounders have proven it doesn't make much of a difference.
Definitely now that they got the ping issue fixed, they need to just figure out how to score away the other issues. I think communication and everything.
Offense itself was also an issue for prospects. They didn't have that many shots last game, and I think I only counted 1 shot on target, but I'm sure they had a couple more than that, especially early in that game. But Serenyx really didn't have that many chances to speak of, especially in the early part of that game, as now they're very outside of position. There's a lot of room here for the Pink Pounders as Idolite to the back wall. Spooky in front of his own goal. Will not actually do well to clear this one out. Extra's last one back. Gets that block on 1. Funny Side won't be able to be there, but another double commit from Serenyx Esports. And as I said before, communication has already proven itself to be something that this team has had issues with against the speed of the Pink Pounders. And they better be careful that doesn't become a bigger issue, as now a mistake from Churro. Spooky will get the block, but Pink Pounders continuing to press the issue, and Serenyx Esports prospects making some small, minor mechanical issues, but the Pink Pounders are doing very well to make those small issues big issues as they continue to put shots on target.
Yeah, and Serenyx needs to get the shots to capitalize on them. I mean, we almost had another goal from Pink Pounders right there. Thankfully, Churro was there for the save.
The other way here from Churro. Spooky. Serenyx looking for their first goal of the series. This might be it! It goes in front! Churro will put it in! Serenyx Esports prospects have scored for the first time tonight.
That's definitely something you love to see. Maybe it will help their momentum and their confidence. I mean, it was another thing you could throw into the mix was the first game of the season jitters.
There was definitely jitters at the beginning of this game. You can't deny that here, but for Serenyx looking to continue on this defensive push. Churro up the sidewall. Funny Side challenged by Extra, but it will be Funny Side again. Idolite is waiting as Spooky. Oh, he didn't make contact with this play, and Serenyx will stay on this as Churro. Hutch won't get very far with this Idolite. Off that sidewall, Extra to the other corner of Serenyx Esports will jump on this play. Tied game so far. Serenyx with 1 goal already on the board for themselves. It's a good feeling for this team. You're seeing them high flying in the air, really attacking that back wall. Pink Pounders so far have not really defended that back wall all that much. That's definitely something that Serenyx Esports is really taking notice, is that back wall's open, as that is a free shot for Idolites. And my goodness, Idolite, he's the only player here on the Pink Pounders that was not part of the Geriatric Goliath's yellow team last season, but he is proving he's got an eye for that net. He has not missed often.
No, not at all. Definitely. I mean, 1 for 3 actually so far. No, 1 for 1. I was reading the wrong player. My bad.
Infield play, Idolite Funny side. Oh, he's got the fake there. Spooky will get back to it. Serenyx.
X-Trolls there.
The upfield and still room for Serenyx, but a lot of plays right from the midfield for Serenyx, and those 50-50s from the Pink Pounders making things tougher for them. Pink Pounders, one thing that we don't mention too much about this team, why they can be so good, is because this team does know how to adjust. Any top-tier team will know how to be able to adjust to the plays. Pink Pounders proving that here by sitting back towards the midfield. They're really playing heavy on the 50-50s in the middle of the field. They know Serenyx wants to play from the midfield, wants to play high up from the midfield. They know if they can challenge them early on those offensive plays, they really give themselves opportunities to get chances, as that's a great play upfield for Funny Side. Will be easily kept out by Churro, but that's a heavy first touch. That was the kind of touch that gave Idolite a goal earlier this game. That now is the reason why the Pink Pounders have the lead, is crowd up the side wall. Spooky.
Spooky taking it up the wall into the midfield. Funny Side's there, though. With Churro with the 50, and Idolite's going to be there, but X-Troll gets the touch first.
So far, we're seeing a lot of plays just back and forth. That's a double commit, though. Funny Side, and then that save away. Spooky got on the end of that. And Serenyx, my goodness, survived there, but Idolite, he won't give him another chance. 3-1 the lead for the Pink Pounders here. And I was paying attention to Churro. Look at how far out he is from the net. He's not on the goal line. If he stands in the net where he should be, that gets blocked. Because he doesn't, Idolite recognizes it, and it's a 2-goal advantage for the Pink Pounders.
We have Crowd and Churro on that kickoff. Looks like Spooky's gonna follow and try to take a shot, but Funny Side's there for the save.
Offense in front of the net, but Pink Pounders so far have done well. It hasn't been as dominant as Game 1, although I don't think anybody was expecting it to be as dominant as Game 1, but still doing the same thing that they're used to, and that is playing aggressive, getting lots of shots, making life difficult here as an infield play. Serenyx, only 1 goal so far this game, and even though their offense has been better, still have a lack of shots. There's a clear difference here between these two. Pink Pounders are winning control. They're challenging the 50-50s in the midfield a lot more now. They're winning most of them too. Serenyx Esports, we're relying on those to win those challenges to get their offensive chances. Because they can't win those challenges, their offense has completely fallen apart since the first half of the game, and Pink Pounders have proven again, just like the Joystick Lives could last season, they can adjust the way that they play, and Serenyx Esports now need to find a new way to adjust the Pink Pounders, because clearly this game plan is not working, as they'll go down 2 games in this best of 5. Pink Pounders and their opening match of the season may be able to win this in a sweep. All they need is 1 more win.
Definitely, at this point, it's all or nothing for this series for the Serenyx prospects, so they're just going to have to put their all in that next game.
Game 3 up next here, and the Pink Pounders proving as a top-tier side. They know how to play as a top-tier team. They know what they should be able to do here, but going into Game 3, Pink Pounders just need 1 more win. This match will be theirs, and the opening series of the season could end in a sweep. I think it was a sweep last season as well that opened up our season, so give it up to ATS, finding ways to have the first match always be a sweep, but Pink Pounders proving that, just like, again, the Joystick Lives last season, they're still very good. Their roster may have changed, their team name may have changed, but their team's very, very solid, and they're not exactly a team that's going to make things easy for anyone as well, so that offense is still very scary, and that's going to be a problem for Serenyx, because clearly so far, they have not adjusted well to it. As we go into Game 3, Pink Pounders just need 1 more win, and the series is theirs.
Churro manages to win that kickoff, and is taking it in the corner. Funny Side's there, though, and taking it to the midfield. Another thing that was different about how Serenyx played last game was they demoed a lot more than Pink Pounders did. I mean, I believe when Pink Pounders had maybe 1 or 2 demos, whereas Serenyx had 4.
Well, demos are a great thing, especially on defense, considering the way that Serenyx wants to play this game. It's really going to come down to the timing of those demos, because demoing is one thing, but having good time demos is another here, and the Pink Pounders, Serenyx so far haven't really utilized those demos much. And
exactly,
again,
it's about using those demos to set up your teammates.
Yeah, and so often you see players go for demos to open up the net here. Right now, you're seeing players use demos to open up the midfield more. That midfield was a battleground last game, and Pink Pounders, they won the midfield last game. That's why they won the game itself, I think. And against Serenyx, they're trying to do it again here, but those demos, they're really taking down the player in the midfield.
Taking another shot,
and
Churro's there to save.
And with the midfield, you know, them challenging the midfield as they are, as long as they keep doing that, it's going to make things tough. Another demo from Crowd. Now it's a bit open in the backfield here. Spooky moving back in time, but no, he won't be. He was beat by Funny Side somehow. And Pink Founders again score first as Spooky didn't have a lot of boost to begin with, but I thought he surely had... Oh, he stopped.
Yeah,
Why did he
Funny
stop
Side
moving?
came out of nowhere.
Oh man, Spooky, he stopped before he went for that touch, and that's the difference there between the goal lead for Pink Founders as we have it now, and what would still be a 0-0 tied scoreline.
Spooky already trying to take a shot, but Funny Side's there for the save. Idolite challenging in, getting it into Serenyx's corner.
Crowd, oh, that's a decent chance here. Pink Pounders haven't been ones to pass that much, but tell that they've got that team chemistry. I think really importantly here, Crowd and Funny Side have had are still looking like that solid duo that we saw last season out of both of them, and that chemistry. So many of these teams coming into this season are completely new rosters, like Serenyx is. They're a completely new roster. You gotta build that chemistry up. Pink Pounders, because two of the three players playing today have already played last season with each other, it's a lot easier for them. And they have a huge advantage in that because they know each other. That's a great pass, though. Idolite will shoot, but stays on the ground. Churro will block. Crowd has room. Will keep this one high. Churro saves in front of the nets. No one jumping in for Pink Pounders. Now they go as Idolite will win the play. The Pink Pounders moving. They've got some insanely strong chemistry there. Go in and after play, one after the other. And again, specifically Crowd and Funny Side have really solid team chemistry right now, and that's a huge advantage when you know your teammate as well as these two know each other. That's going to give you an advantage over most teams because, again, unlike most teams are completely new in one way or another. Pink Pounders really utilizing the fact that they have Funny Side and Crowd together as teammates and they know each other.
And definitely having more experience with your teammates is going to help. Because the more they play together, the more they'll be able to adjust to each other and figure out how to help each other out and capitalizing.
Idolite. Up by Spooky. Crowd waiting. We'll go across the field. That is straight to Idolite. He's been good so far. He'll be good again. The first of the game for Idolite, but that was the last person that you wanted to give the ball to if you're Serenyx. And man, he has been a strong shooter this series. Idolite has been insane so far. Another goal for him, and man, he has been scary on offense. His shots have been incredibly tough to deal for Serenyx, and he has scored a plethora of goals, and really for Pink Pounders, they can rely on him because he's been so consistent so far.
Yeah, definitely consistency with shooting is key. With the accuracy, Churro's already trying to keep that in the corner. I mean, Serenyx is doing well. I say that, they score again.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what Serenyx is doing right now. It seems like Pink Founders have completely demoralized them here. Just 3 goals, nothing for Serenyx. They've only scored once so far this matchup. Keep that in mind. They've only scored once. That's how one-sided it's been. That's how good the Pink Founders are. And not only getting offense, but keeping offense and capitalizing on offense. Serenyx haven't had chances, but a double tap attempt. That goes in front. It's off the crossbar. It will be in front of the net still. Spooky will score. Serenyx, their second goal of the series. They haven't had many chances, but credit to Churro for making that happen. Serenyx still have a chance to keep this series going, but with 74 seconds, they need 2 goals, and they're going to need to work fast.
Definitely working fast is the key there, and just getting those shots on target is what they need to be doing.
They're really going to make these...
Because they do have the shot attempts, it's just not on target, and then the Pink Pounders are just there to block it.
And I really think, more importantly, you got to get the Serenyx Esports team the Pink Pounders team to commit some of your shots here of your Serenyx, because a lot of shots have been directly on target. I want to see them really attack that back wall, because clearly, for both their goals so far, it's been off of plays to the back wall, where Pink Pounders have not exactly been covering, and if I'm Serenyx, I look at that, and honestly, that's an opening. And that's an opening that they have to exploit here, because Pink Pounders have proven they have not exactly adapted to that play, as now, miss off the back wall. Churro gets the play. Extrold will score. Serenyx with a second, and again, using that back wall, making the Pink Pounders make whiffs, and Serenyx making life tough. 33 seconds. All they need is 1.
And that comeback could easily happen. Who knows? They could even come back and take this game and not end the series right now. It's
And if you're
just about them adjusting, right? And taking those opportunities.
hoping for a reverse sweep for Serenyx, this is the start, and Extro's gonna score again! 3 goals straight for Serenyx Esports prospects! The game is tied!
What an amazing comeback to see. That's the comebacks that you love to see from the underdog teams in the series.
Serenyx are not ready to give up just yet. 21 seconds, and now the Pink Pounders, for the first time, I think, in this match, they look a little bit uneasy. They know that the Serenyx team is got their number at this point. They know the Serenyx team is riding high, is on fire with their shooting opportunities, and they're still not done. Extra trying to get one out of Idolite, but Idolite with a great block. Crowd trying to keep it away from Spooky. Funny side will keep the ball up here. It's Extra to the corner. Crowd will clear this one away. It's overtime in game number 3 for the Pink Pounders. 1 goal away from winning this series, but Serenyx, they've got momentum. They've got the last 3 goals of this game. All they need is 1 more to extend this series into game 4.
And that may be what they needed at this point. They just needed to get that confidence booster and come back to life.
The other way, funny side. Spooky will win the play. Idolite does get over both. Juro will be on the end of this one. Pink Pounders want to pull them out, and they may have done so here, but will be kept away. And you see the Pink Pounders playing as close as they were to that front post, trying to pull Serenyx Esports prospects players away from the back post. And they were aiming for it too on that chance, but clearly didn't hit in the way they wanted to, as Serenyx now have their chance. It's Spooky.
He's up for it.
Extrolled to the corner. Juro will stay on this one as Funny Side jumps in. Pink Pounders clear it away. Another chance on offense. Another chance to win this game. As they're going to put one on, but I'm surprised with how defensive the Pink Pounders have played. You can tell they're sitting back for more. They're taking less chances. They're not nearly as aggressive. They're not the same team we saw earlier.
Idolite taking that to the midfield. Looks like Funny Side's gonna go for that touch. Crowd with the shot opportunity, and Crowd scores. And now the series.
That will end it, as you said. It will end the series. It's 1 touch from Show, and look at the bump on Spooky. That's what makes that play. Funny Side takes out Spooky. Crowd goes, and that's it. Pink Pounders, a 3-0 sweep to start the season. Maybe got a little bit more interesting than they were hoping at the end of this one in Game 3, but Serenyx, a valiant effort. Gotta give credit to this team. After Game 1, they really found their foothold in Games 2 and 3, and they could be a really scary team this season, but Pink Pounders proving why they are such a top-tier team, why they are going to be so feared in this division, because that offense from them is just so tough to handle.
Yeah, I mean, even bringing it to overtime was an amazing effort from Serenyx.
Fortunately for them, the records don't care about how amazing your efforts were. All they care about is if you won or not. And clearly, we have our answer on who's going to win this, on who's the better team here. And fortunately, it will be proven to be somewhat of a simple matchup for them here. Good performance as well from both of these sides. As again, you got to give credit to Funny Side and Crowd who, lost in the quarterfinals last season. Usually a loss like that is so demoralizing. So often we see teams make it to the final bracket, lose, and then completely fall apart. The fact that these two stay together, want to go for another season, I have to tell you just about what the confidence is that this Pink Pounders team has, knowing that maybe last season wasn't what we expected from them. Maybe that isn't what they are capable of. Maybe they can do more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's about how Serenyx comes back in the future weeks to help them.
It absolutely is, and so far as we've seen it, some pretty incredible showings at this point, so good on them. That's a solid performance for the Pink Pounders, 3-0 in their first matchup of the season. But again, credit to Serenyx keeping things close, and credit to the Pink Pounders still looking solid. Even a whole season later, it's been a long off season for them. I'm sure even longer made by, again, how the circumstances of how their season ended. But man, they really want to prove themselves, and at this point, I mean, they look like the Jarek Draglaev's yellow team that we saw last season. They look like the same team. It's just that now, obviously, they're hoping that if they can make it to playoffs again, that they won't have the same results. For now, though, that's exactly what they're expecting.
Yeah, definitely that is what they expect. And I mean, based on the seeds, this was how you thought the match could go. But I mean, there have been upsets where the lower seed teams, I mean, the higher seed teams lose.
Yeah, you can never be too sure. Being the high
Exactly.
seed. I mean, we saw in the quarterfinals last season with Jericho Glass. They were the number one seed. It felt like nobody could beat them. And then in the quarterfinals, they lost. I think it was 4-1, 4-2. It was not very. It was the worst they looked all season. That does happen. And again, still, I look at this and I say, well, they're looking good. And as again, I'm excited with this one as we're going to get a little interview here with, I think it's going to be Funny Side on the Geriatric Goliath. So, yeah, it is. Funny Side's going to join us here for this one as well here. So, welcome in, Funny Side. Geriatric Goliath
Oh
Shello
yeah.
lost in the quarterfinals last season. That was on this stream. You know, after that season, so often teams fall apart, but you stuck it out here, and you're joined back with Crowd again. Talk to me. What's the mindset with you and Crowd going another season? Is there something that you have to prove here?
I don't know if we have to prove anything, but I would like to get a first place in the league since the last time we didn't. We went super good and then super bad. But we got some new people to join the team, so hopefully it's a little more fun.
Definitely, new roster can help things. What was going through you and your teammates' mind in Game 3 when it went to overtime?
Uh, I think everybody was relaxed. I think we made quite a few mistakes back to back to back, which led to that overtime. But we knew we were the better team, so
Oh, yeah, that's definitely key about having that confidence.
And
indeed.
you look good in this season. Idolite, man, he looked solid. This is a new player for me, as well as a new player in this season. Idolite, it didn't look like he could miss. Seriously, that was pretty incredible what we saw from Idolite. Just tell me overall here about Idolite. You know how you found him and how he seems to have some incredible shooting accuracy. Because I mean, even I knew last season you guys had some pretty good accuracy, but this season, I mean, Idolite proved he's got some pretty insane shooting, and that's gonna be, I think, very tough to match. Talk to me about Idolite overall as a player and a teammate.
Well, yeah, the shots were crazy. There was uh some gaps in their defense, and Delight took advantage of that. We just I went in the Rocket League server to look for more teammates, and he popped up, and he's a chill dude. So we game it out a little bit. It's been good. His shooting today was phenomenal. I don't even think I got a goal, but wait, I got one actually. So
You got
thank you.
one. I
But
remember. Yeah, I remember you
I
got
got one.
one.
Yeah, I got one. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, like
But
you
yeah, the
said,
team.
you found them in the Rocket League server. I mean, you can find teammates when you least expect it sometimes.
Yep.
Well, again, it was nice having you here, Funny Side. It's nice to see you back as well for another season. Looking to, as you said, get first place. What I think a lot of people were expecting from your team last season, but you're here again in the Catalyst Cup. You mentioned that your goal is first place, and I don't think you. I don't. Knowing you, I am not at all surprised. I would have guessed that you would have said something about along those lines. So for now, congrats on your win, field sweep over Serenyx Esports prospects. Before you go here, Funny Side, and enjoy the rest of your week while we and wait for week 2 to begin. Do you have any shoutouts, any final messages here to kind of conclude your win in the opening match of Season 5?
Well, just to expect us to keep winning because I don't have any plans of losing. But plus in week 4, it's there's a little friendly battle, which is going to be fun.
You mentioned that week 4 matchup. I think a lot of people are late in the season as well. You're second to last week. You're playing against the Post Pounders, Periwinkle, as well. Another very good team. And you mentioned as well a little bit of fun here. You get to play against some teammates, some other players that you knew from Jared to Goliath. So,
Yes.
well, but for now, congrats on your win, Funny Side. Thanks for joining. Congrats on your win
Thank
over
you so
Serenyx Esports.
much.
Go enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
You too. Thanks for having me. Goodbye.
There goes funny side there, fail sweep for the Pink Pounders. AlyssaBee, thanks as well for joining. I've never had someone join me on the opening match before, but it always feels nice to be able to work with new people. Before you go, Alyssa, as well, you have anything else you want to say? Any last words?
Uh, no, I can't think of anything right now. Just thank you to everyone that tuned in for the opening match.
You're too humble. You should have shouted out the two teams that you have running in this tournament. And she's part of Infamous Thieves, by the way. So shout out to the two Infamous Thieves teams in this tournament, and shout out to you for managing both of them. You're too humble, Alyssa. As well of you out there watching, thank you all so much for joining the Ascend Tournament Series mainstream for our first match of the season. Seriously, you guys looked amazing. For now, take care. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your evening here. And again, to all of you watching, we're going to have a lot of more action here in week 1. So while we might be done today, we will not be done forever. There's going to be a lot more action to come but for now, take care. Have a great night. We'll see you guys again very soon. For now, take care. Thanks for joining the Ascend Tournament Series. And again, we'll see you very soon with more action on this stream. Good night, everybody.